Question 11, section B. Time of flight mass spectrometer molecule X ionizing electrospray ionization. What is the equation for ionization electrospray? Now, electron impact electron used to fire high energy electron. Electrospray sample is dissolved and pushed through a nozzle at high pressure. A high voltage applied to it, causing each particle to gain a H plus ion. So just by using that, I know each particle is gaining a H plus ion. So it can't be A and it can't be B because they're gaining electrons. It must be C or D. Well, remember with ionization, electrospray ionization, it's in its gaseous state. So X is going to be in its gaseous state. And how would you go from X in its liquid state to X in its gaseous state? By just adding a H plus ion. So it can't be C. The answer is D. And if you look at the student worksheet that EQA have online, electrospray ionization, it gives you that equation that you do need to memorize. X gaseous state plus H plus, XH plus gaseous state. What is the electron configuration of V2 plus in the ground state? V2 plus, so now I'm going to get rid of this. V2 plus, V, there we go, 23 electrons. But because it's got 2 plus charge, we're going to minus 2, so it's going to have 21 electrons. So that's just a little trick, but now I need to look at that. So if we add these up for A, 2 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 3, that's 21 electrons. 2 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 1 plus 2, that's 21. 2 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 3 plus 2. Let's try it again. 2 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 3 plus 2. That's 23 electrons, so it can't be C. 2 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 6 plus 5 plus 2. That's 25 electrons, so it can't be D. So already, just by understand that's 2 plus ions with minus 2 electrons, 23 minus 2, 21, and then counting all the electrons, I already eliminated C and D. A and B. If you look at A, what's the difference? 1 is 2, 2 is 2, 2 p6, 3 is 2, 3 p6. In this case, A is the correct answer. Fills 3D orbital first. In this case, 13. Which molecule is not able to form a coordinate bond with another species? CH4. I did that quite easily because carbon's in group 4, bonded to 4 hydrogens, and it can only form 4 bonds. BH3, boron is also in group 3, bonded to 3. NH3, that can definitely form a coordinate bond. H2O, that can definitely form a coordinate bond. CH4 is the answer. Which species is square planar shape? XeF4. I can just recognize it from my textbook. They have examples, and XeF4 in this case is one with square planar shape. You should know this is definitely not square planar, and so then you're left with B, C, and D, and you might have to draw them out unless you recognize them like I did. Which bond has the most unsymmetrical electron distribution? H and O. Using what's it called, the Paul electronegativity scale. You should be somewhat familiar with that. If you're not, just go through it again. We should know H plus and the O. HO bond is the most symmetrical electron distribution. Which compound contains chlorine atom in oxidation state of +4? Now, this case, read the question properly. Just check how many questions I've left to do. So in this case, read the question properly. A chlorine atom with an oxidation state of +4. Chlorine with oxidation state +4. So in this case, oxygen minus 2 times 4 minus 8. Minus 8, potassium group 1 plus 1 plus 7 minus 7, so it's going to have +7. In this case, carbon in group 4, chlorine is going to be -1. Yeah. In this case, oxygen minus 2 times 2 minus 4, chlorine has to be +4. The answer is C. And if we look at D, We don't even need to look at it. The answer is C. Question 17. Which element is classified as a D block element? S, P, D. So the D block element is the one here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Region between here in the middle. And if you look here, we've got MO, molybdenum. Molybdenum is classified as D block element. Whereas antimony, where's that? I just want to show you guys what blocks they are in. Antimony. Antimony. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. That's in the P block. That's S. That's D. That's P block. So that's in the P block. Remember, D block is in the middle. Strontium. That's in the S block. You forgot about this skill that you have to do. I need to maybe go through it again. And then uranium to become a bit sharper. Uranium, it is in the F block. It's on the bottom. That's the F block. The F block is probably the easiest to learn because it's, you know, away from everything else. So B is molybdenum. Which element in period 3 has the highest melting point? Silicon. Macromolecular substance. Whereas aluminium and sodium, well, aluminium is Al 3 plus, so it's definitely going to be greater than sodium, which is Na plus. But we don't need to look. But they're both metals, and then sulfur, that's just S8. So that's going to have the lowest melting point of this case, lowest melting point, because it's just it's not metal. Question 19: which pair of solution when mixed reacts to form a dark brown solution? It's going to be D because of the iodine. NaI plus Br2. Some solid sodium halides are reacted with concentrated sulfuric acid. Which solid sodium halide does not produce sulfur containing gas as one of the products? Well, if you look at the equations with this case is testing group 7, they really like to test group 7 halide ions test equations with these multiple choice questions. With this, plus H2SO4 NaHSO4 plus HCl. This, so therefore the answer is A, NaCl. That does not produce sulfur containing gas. NaBr does produce sulfur dioxide. NaI also produces sulfur dioxide, and NaT you don't need to. There is no equation for that, but NaT will not also. So the answer is A, 28, NaCl. 21. Which atom has one more proton and two more neutrons than that? Well, how many neutrons does this have? That 31 minus 15, 16. How many protons? 15. Which atom has one more proton? So 16 protons. 16 on the bottom number, so all of them have that. And two more neutrons. So it's going to have 18 neutrons. Yeah, 18 neutrons. So 31 minus 15 is 16, so 16 plus 2 is 18, so 16 plus 18, 34. We have to have 34 on the top. And if it's got 16 protons, it's got to be sulfur. So the answer is 34, 16 sulfur. Whereas phosphorus has 15 protons. 34, 16. Barium sulfate is used in barium meals, and it's not using an anticide, a substance which neutralizes excess stomach acid. That's magnesium hydroxide, or is it calcium hydroxide? In medicine to produce X-ray image, barium sulfate used in barium meals for X-ray images to identify the organs which soft tissues which can't be located by normal X-rays. Which ion has the largest radius? Remember, negative ions have larger ionic radius than positive ions. So positive ions have a small ionic radius, so we can already eliminate positive ions Mg2 plus Na plus. Mg2 plus have even smaller ionic radius compared to Na plus. So the answer is going to be D, O2 minus, because it's more negatively charged compared to F minus, so it's going to have a large ionic radius. Which element has a first ionization energy lower than that of sulfur? Look at sulfur. We've got chlorine, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, selenium, and we're looking for first ionization energy lower than sulfur, not higher, lower. Well, phosphorus is definitely going to have a higher first ionization energy because sulfur has electron pair repulsion, so it's going to have a slightly lower first ionization energy than phosphorus. So phosphorus has a higher first ionization energy than sulfur. Oxygen, oxygen. First ionization energy decreases down the group, so sulfur is actually going to have a lower first ionization energy, more electron further away from nucleus, shielding, all of that. So oxygen will actually have a higher first ionization energy than sulfur. Chlorine, yeah, because then first ionization energy increases across the group, and then with sulfur it's got the electron pair repulsion is p orbital, I'm pretty sure. So once you add another electron to the proton, another electron, well then the electron pair removes, and therefore it's going to have a higher first ionization energy than sulfur, and therefore the answer must be selenium. And if you look at selenium is lower down the group than sulfur, and first ionization energy decreases down the group, therefore selenium is it. And I was able to do that using the trends that you do need to know and the memorization of the trends. Question 25, the first 7 successive ionization energies for element Z are shown. What is element Z? Well, we can see that it's got 70 electrons, and we can also see that the massive jump in ionization energy, if we just try to plot it like that, there's a massive jump in ionization energy when the electrons being removed from the 4th outer shell. So the element Z, this tells me it has to be in not group 5, it has to be in group 4, because that's when the electron being removed, and that's just before, that's exactly when, after that, the massive jump in ionization energy. Is carbon in group 4? Yes. Is nitrogen in group 4? No. It's in group 5. I'm just going to write down the groups and then I'll cross them out. Silicon is in group 4. Group 4. Phosphorus is in group 5. So already I'm able to eliminate half of the options. Nitrogen and phosphorus are completely incorrect. They're not the element because they're in group 5. So the electron will be removed from the 5th ionization number. In this case, it's the 4th one, so it must be in group 4. Now, if we look at carbon and silicon, well, carbon only has 6 electrons, so it would stop here. When actually in the graph, it keeps going to 7, and it'll probably keep going. It says just the first 7. Carbon only has 6 electrons inside shell, so it can't be carbon, therefore it must be silicon, which has 14 electrons, therefore we'll keep going. And that is the end of multiple choice questions.